Hello everyone, welcome to the Untold. I'm your host Ahmad ALMazeedi, joined by Hadeel AlMusaileem.
Thank you for the introduction.
How are you today?
I'm good. So, how much do you
I
know
don't
about
know.
the environment?
I'm not a very good science
I love when you
student.
just said, I don't know before you even asked the question.
I don't know, because
You're
it's
one
not
of
my
those
field.
people,
It's
huh?
so far away from my field and my interest. But
Okay.
I'm
Today,
here to
we're
talk
going to be
about
talking
it.
about it. Yeah. We have a guest.
We're gonna learn a lot about our environment,
Ecosystem?
ecosystem. She is a doctor. She has a PhD.
Volunteer.
Volunteer. She does a lot, my friend, and she knows a lot.
She knows a lot.
This is
Scientifically amazing.
She's a genius.
She
is
is a
basically
genius.
what I'm thinking this episode will go.
Okay, let's meet our guest right
Yes.
after the break.
All right.
So we're back with our guest, Dr. Sara Alateeqi. So first of all, interesting resume, I would say. I was watching
a lot of
the script.
accolades. And
Today we're going to be talking about ecology and environment biology. So before we get into the interview, before we get into details, let's get to know you as a person.
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me here today.
Of course.
I have a bachelor degree in botany from Kuwait University with a minor of desert science.
Okay, wow. It's just okay, I'll let you finish and then I'll ask you. Yeah.
Then I worked in Public Authority of Agriculture for a couple of years before I left to study my master's and my PhD
in Glasgow.
in University of Glasgow, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then PhD, how many years is that?
That master's with a PhD is like 5 years.
Okay. Also in the same university.
Yes.
So before we get into that, from high school, how did you envision this
Well,
career
I
path for
haven't.
you? Okay. Tell us how it came together. Then.
Well, at the beginning, I wanted to go to. I love literature, so I thought that I'm probably going to be like a writer or something. I didn't want to have anything related
What kind
to
of
science.
writing we're talking about? Like creative writing?
Yes.
Okay, from creative writing,
Yes.
you went into the other deep end
Yes.
of sciences, and you're a science student, right? Not a literature
I
student.
am. Actually, I do both now.
Oh, okay.
So it started as then my sister, she's like in the science, is like, no, literature, you cannot go there. It's like something that you can read in books, but science will never be able to read in books. You have to study there. It's like, okay.
So you made the transition from creative
actually,
writing.
I continued for the first couple of years
Creative
in high
writing,
school.
okay.
Not the creative writing, of course.
okay.
I mean, in that time.
High school, you mean?
The
Okay.
high school.
Yeah.
So in the last 2 years, I've literally switched from being literature to science.
Science in high school.
In high school, and
Okay.
most of my friends at that time, they've already finished at least a year in science, where I have already passed a year. I haven't done any, so I have to squeeze everything in the last couple of years. I didn't even want to spend another year or semester.
So you
like
condensed your studies.
everything.
Okay,
That's a little bit like lowered my grades somehow, because I've really pushed myself hard, and I genuinely wanted to go to. I loved biology. I fell in love with biology.
That makes one of us on this table. I think.
Biology is
You like
nice.
biology?
I think it's nice.
Yeah, sure.
I like physics more.
Okay, I'm lost now.
So
Please carry on.
Yeah, so I genuinely fell in love with biology, and the highest grades I would get it in biology. Physics was probably the least, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I think biology in
I
college
went
was the
to
lowest
literature
grade
as well. Sorry, I went to literature, like adabi, whatever.
Yeah.
But in college, whatever, I used to study a lot of as a technician, assistant engineer, whatever, I had the opportunity, so we study a lot of physics. I loved it.
Okay, that's good.
Do you like math? Just
No.
a random question.
No.
She said everyone that loves sciences hates math.
Nobody likes
and
math.
I'm the only one that likes math.
Nobody likes math.
And I'm a literature
No,
student.
actually,
just-
my sister, she loves math so
Okay.
much, which is, that's probably the
I
difference.
hate math. It just doesn't make
It's
sense
simple.
to me.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
The only thing that doesn't.
Anyway, let's go back on the story.
Anyways, yeah.
Bachelor's degree, right?
Then I went to University of the College of Science in Kuwait University. That was the biology department was the closest I can get because my grades was a bit lower because of what I went through. Then when I went to the department, there was like several, like there's zoology, there's botany, there's microbiology, it's like molecular biology, and there's like all these departments. So I was like, everyone's either going to microbiology or zoology. It was like botany was the least. Most of the people, at that time, not sure about now, it is a rare specialty, rare
Okay.
people to
Yeah.
go to there. So, and when I took one of the classes, it was like, I think 102 biology. It was all about botany. I fell in love with it. It's entirely different. They are entirely different creatures as much as they are close to us, as much I consider them now as humans, honestly. They are like, this is just an amazing creatures. So I was like, no, I'm going to botany. And there was a lot of skepticism around me. It's like, what are you going to do after when you graduate? Where are you going to go afterward? Then, which has made things worse in universities, I took the minor to be a desert science. And at that time, most of people...
A what?
Desert science, yes.
Desert science?
Yes.
There's such a thing?
You will.
It does exist, I swear. I studied it.
I mean, what is even that?
Science of the desert.
Yes.
No,
so
but like, what is the science of the desert?
it's everything related to desert. The flash news is the desert's an ecosystem.
It is an ecosystem. It's incredible. Like, I didn't expect that people will be studying just, the desert.
Yeah.
I think they'll just study the entire, like...
Yeah, this is our ecosystem. So things related to that part of the world is very essential. So you would have, let's say, the fauna, or which is the animals of the wildlife in that area. So you'd have they have specific criteria and specific shapes and
to adapt.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the same thing for the plants. And so there's also desert plants, and there's the ecosystem itself. There is even the weather itself. So every department related to desert in every aspect of life, you can see it inside this.
Which is very convenient since we live in Kuwait.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah. So when you merge both of these, like let's say, specialties, you will be like specialists in native flora, which is what I do now.
Okay.
All right,
Let's talk
yeah.
more about your specialty.
Yeah.
What is it that you do precisely?
Yeah. So I am an ecologist.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is in my field of work is, at least the thing that I've studied in my master's and my PhD is like my main focus is rehabilitation, and what we do is like what I've done in my master's and PhD is trying to find a native plant that can survive on top of the oil contamination, especially after the Iraqi invasion.
Right.
We still have like a lot of the like oil lakes, different types. Like there's fresh oil lakes, dry oil lakes, tar creeks, and like a lot of.
Still recovering.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to a lot of different areas in Kuwait trying to find naturally what are the things from our native flora that can literally survive on top of the oil contamination. So there is a list that I came out with, represent the 3 main communities. When I say communities, I mean specific plants that can literally survive on top of the oil contamination. The first of them, it's called Helixodon salicornicum, which is what we call in Kuwait is like rimth.
Right.
Okay.
Rimth, yes.
I guess I don't know Kuwaiti.
Since we're talking about that, as doctor, as a professional in this field, I know when we think about desert, we think harsh life, dryness, whatever. But is there, advantages when it comes to the desert? There are like some good, good things when it comes to the desert. As a specialist, what do you think?
Well, I mean, every ecosystem has its own pros and cons. Every ecosystem. So, in our ecosystem, one of the benefits of the things that we have, for example, even the things that we think usually as a bad things, they have an amazing
Side to it.
Side to it, yes. For example, desert storms that we have.
We run away from
impact
those.
they had.
We run away from
Yeah,
them.
I mean, this is one of the aspects related to deserts usually. That has a lot of benefits. They literally feeds the planktons living on top of the soil of the sea. There's the planktons. They are like small creatures living on top of it's like the green, like algae and stuff like that. So
Okay.
so they feed those creatures feed on the sand coming from the desert. Now the fishes eat those creatures, which means, or these planktons, which means that even the food security will increase because we will have more fish. And
Is that what we call the butterfly effect?
No, I mean this is
don't think
no.
so.
It's not. I mean it can be, but it's on the long run. But it's
I mean, yeah, like the desert storm that we hate so bad feeds, something in the, I don't know what that is, like in the sea, and then the fishes feed from that, and then we eat the fishes, and
It's
then
a vicious cycle.
why are vicious? Why? I mean, this is our food security. This is what we actually live to do.
I guess I have a question, might be a bit random, but throughout your studies and your work in Kuwait in the fields, what are some big discoveries you've made or realizations about the desert in Kuwait, or what you have come across?
I think is one of the things that came out to me is like after when I started to study the native flora, I found out that most of us doesn't know much. Now you just said that I don't know Kuwaiti. Like Rimth is like the most famous. Yeah, it's like Rimth and Arfaj. Do you know Arfaj? Have you heard the word at least?
I have.
You have? Can you tell me what it is?
I heard the word, but I've heard the word somewhere.
Okay. You can educate us right now.
Okay, so Arfaj is the national flower of Kuwait.
Oh. Okay.
And it's part of what we call Nuwer. The Nuwer, the yellow flowers, the daisies that we see.
Okay.
That we see on the roads.
And the Ramth is?
There's another family, it's another species.
Okay.
Represent another family as well. But Arfaj is this it's a daisy, but that lives longer. It's what we call it perennial.
Oh.
Yeah, so the ones that it's usually annuals are the ones that we see in the street, which is like just for one season that drops seeds and.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll come back because there's more
to
scientific
discuss
questions.
A lot of
coming on.
scientific questions.
So right after the break.
We're back on the show, carrying on our conversation with Dr. Sara Alateeqi. We left off with basically the discoveries you've made in Kuwait about your profession and fields. Let's carry on with our conversation. Could you share inspiration behind founding the Hayat volunteering group, and what specific goals and objectives does the group aim to achieve in wildlife conservation?
Yeah, but I just need to correct a specific small details.
Yeah,
I said algae. It's like phytoplankton and zooplanktons, which is the creatures that the fish eat to increase the number of the population of the fishes. Okay. So this is for
we
the
didn't
accuracy.
catch it. We didn't catch it.
Yeah, just for the scientific
for the
accuracy.
fact checkers out there. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. So regarding
Hayat,
Hayat, Hayat Conservation Group, it's a grassroots, and we've been established in 2017. Our goal is to, most of the people are there, it's like mostly are specialists either in zoology, botany, molecular biology, or different types of like mentalities, and even illustrators, even IT specialists. So anyone who can help in this group, they are more than welcome. The idea behind the group is to find, let's say, to help raise the awareness when it comes to the, let's say, wildlife in Kuwait, because as you just said, most of people, even the younger generation, doesn't know much about what we have here in the desert. So this is what we do, is raising an awareness when it comes to stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay. So what about the wildlife here in Kuwait? How?
The wildlife in Kuwait is, when it comes to the mammal, let's say the fauna, which is like mostly in animals, they, especially the bigger ones, they're like suffering more than others. I think you already have one of our members before, like probably a couple of weeks, Mr. Ahmad ALMazeedi.
Yeah. We remember him.
Yes.
Yes.
He's a member of our team, and he's genuinely amazing, and he knows way better than anyone in
that field.
In that field, yes.
Nice.
When it comes to plants, this is my field, so this is what I usually like to talk about.
Okay, as a mentor for the Green Bag and the Sustainable Youth campaigns, how do you encourage environmentally friendly practices among youth in Kuwait?
Now that's what we were thinking about, is trying to raise an awareness. One of the things that we can do is using social media, trying to have some lectures. Yesterday I had a lecture in DAI, Dar al-Athar al-Islamiyya. We are trying to have well, you name it. We can go to affairs sometimes. We can participate in having workshops for kids, stuff like that, just to show them that there is a wildlife in Kuwait that needs to be protected and preserved and conserved and loved, most of all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
Yeah, winning the native plants photography contest and receiving the Youth Public Authority Award for your short competition are notable achievements. How have these recognitions influenced your work in the environmental conservation and writing?
Yeah, writing, as I've said before, it's like one of my passions. Writing and, of course, reading.
Because that was your first passion, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It still is. Now it's unfortunately I'm not publishing as much as I wanted to, but because most of the publishing now, it's more of a scientific articles.
But you published before?
Yeah.
You're a published author, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like a book. It's a short stories book.
Short stories.
Short
So it's
story
not
book.
scientific then.
No, this is the literature part.
Yeah,
the scientific part, yes, there is an article, scientific articles, or articles in journals related to the environment.
Could I ask you about the creative writing book that you did with short stories?
Yes.
What are they about? What's the book about really? And when was it released?
Well, I mean, that was really long time ago.
Okay. Fair. If you don't want to talk about it, it's fine.
No. It's the thing is. The book, because it's short stories, so you have like 10, 12 of these.
Nice.
And
like what themes are you discussing?
It's different themes. It doesn't have to be. Yes, some things like could be science fiction.
Okay.
Some of it would be like just social, something like So it has a different.
Are you eager to get back into that creative side?
Yeah, actually, I'm working on something now, but it's. But it needs some time to be released. To be released.
Okay. Maybe you could combine both, and you like write a sci-fi novel or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the plan. Maybe
Plants coming to life and taking over. I mean, plants are alive, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get back to topic then. We talked about Hayat, and what are the key projects that are you guys working on for Hayat?
Now there is a project that we are working on, but it's like it's honestly it's a surprise. I cannot talk
We cannot reveal it.
Yeah,
We can,
Okay.
maybe behind the
Behind the
scenes.
scenes. Maybe.
yeah. You're
When the
rolling.
cameras aren't rolling. Okay.
And then I'll take
And
a
then
video.
you'll put it on Instagram, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I'm
Okay,
gonna do
all right.
Inshallah. inshallah.
Just kidding.
No, but I mean, we are genuinely been working on. Now, there's two main projects that we are working on. One of them is the one that I've said is a surprise. The other one is monitoring and following up all the native plants in Failaka Island.
Failaka Island.
Yes.
There seems to be a lot of projects going on there, like recently. Like even our guest before, he was talking about Failaka Island and
Yeah.
all the great things you can see in there.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
like when we talk about scientifically, you said plants. What makes Failaka Island so special for research?
For research, it's because Ireland has usually their own. It's like their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the mainland. So even the way people in the past the way they treated the island is way different than the way
city?
anything related to Kuwait or the way it's been. I mean, I've been reading a book, an old book, it's probably in the 80s, and the writer who was talking literally about even the ceremonies people would do after the harvesting of like plants, and even after like if they harvested like a specific amount, what they would do. There is different rituals and ways of living than the one in the mainland.
Okay.
Which is so amazing because no one's talking about that, and it's as if something coming from like I don't know, it's like suburbans in Egypt or something. It's like the way people live there seems so different from the way we do. So because the island has like it's fresh water, the weather it's different. Even the weather is different right there. It's like I swear to God, like a few years ago, wallah, we didn't even feel that we are in Kuwait.
On Failaka Island?
On Failaka Island.
Why?
The
weather?
yes, that
okay.
was like genuinely amazing, and the greenery around you is like astonishing.
Is it a better atmosphere there?
Better atmosphere, akid, of course.
What gives? Surrounded by water, or?
I'm not
land?
entirely sure, but it's as I've said, it's like in islands. They have their own thing.
Characteristics.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting. I never thought about how Failaka Island will be feeling like different.
I don't
being
know.
there.
I've seen a few videos like of them
I've
turning
been
into
twice.
like tourists.
Yeah.
No.
I'm talking about ghosts.
I like the
Ghost
honesty.
hunting.
Hey.
I love the honesty. It's not a tourist destination.
No, I mean it is a tourist if it's been arranged properly.
Right.
Yes, it is.
It hasn't been.
No, I mean the tourist part. What I meant by no
Yeah.
is that most people will go like just in the beginning, just at the entrance of the island,
Right.
where there's like I don't know, like
You mean they don't explore the
No.
entire island?
Yeah.
We go to these specific spots.
exactly, yes,
And that's about it.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
but-
do you recommend us going on an adventure and exploring
Yeah,
all
but
of
I mean,
this?
Exploring all the ghosts in there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm scared to say yes, go ahead, because a lot of people who would go there will just damage things.
Well, that's not
And
our
I've seen
intention. No.
No, I know, but because
Yeah.
I've seen it. Yani, I swear to
Okay.
God, Allah, I mean, there is this amazing place.
There's always bad apples. There's always bad apples.
I mean, you can see this amazing. There's a plant called Jundarensis, which is the scientific name. It's like we call it ansail in Arabic. It's a type of plant with an onion. It's like at the ground, but it has an amazing purple flowers, genuinely big.
Petals. Okay.
Yeah, and they can see an actual field
Okay.
with purple color.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you just go around like some
And
place.
it's been destroyed.
Yes. No, I mean like literally
Damaged
garbage
by, yeah.
thrown on top of these plants and
Oh.
squishing them.
Ah,
Yeah.
that
Littering is not cool anywhere,
Yes.
let alone on an
Littering
island
is
like
not.
Failaka. Littering is a huge problem. we
Yeah,
have.
I mean littering and destroying the plants. Not
Right,
not even
right.
just littering. It's like it's
You're
a double.
destroying something beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. And might go extinct at some point. I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
Life happens.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
And I hope no. I hope not.
How about we talk about the future of Hayat and what aspirations in terms of wildlife conservation projects or programs? Are there any upcoming initiatives that viewers can look forward to?
Yeah, this is the secret.
This is again back to the secret.
Secret.
Trying to get that secret out.
Hey.
Okay. No secrets allowed.
Yeah.
So, do you got a better question?
Well, I would definitely, ask about your personal goals when it comes to, your field. What is it that you aspire the most?
I think one of my messages in life, I think, is to help change people's perspective about the desert.
Okay.
Yeah,
In what way?
Could you tell us what do you think the perspective is?
Okay.
And what do you want
What do you want it to be?
Okay.
change?
Yeah.
So-
I understand you better.
what people see is just some barren,
Sand.
yeah,
Empty
wasteland,
land, wasteland.
a wasteland.
Right.
Dying in the desert.
Yeah, something like
Should build houses on that area.
yeah, just like create more forests.
Right.
We need forests
We need
now.
forests.
What people
Can we do that in Kuwait though?
they no, this is my issue.
That's a part two.
Hey,
That's
that's
episode
part
two.
two. So my issue is people asking for that to happen,
Forest.
Yeah.
Okay.
to have a forest, and to ask for a different ecosystem
For
than
deserts,
yours.
right.
Just challenging
replacing
You're
ours.
challenging Mother Nature, basically.
This is what people asking for.
Right. Right.
Don't challenge Mother
Okay.
Nature.
You don't think that's a good idea?
No.
Why not?
Now this is my life goal.
Explaining to people why it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is your natural heritage.
The desert.
But what if we don't want to live in the desert anymore?
You can travel. You can live in the Amazons.
Okay.
But they're not going to pay me as well.
Why? What?
Yeah, I mean, most people want like greenlands and they want better, But again, we would miss all the fun from camping in the desert.
Yeah. Once every 5 years. Yeah. It's true.
Once every five, I'll go
Or-
there
I
every
don't
single
know.
year. What are you talking about?
Well,
Anyway,
Yeah.
it was really nice having you on the show.
it was a lovely conversation.
lovely
and getting to
personality.
know you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
being
coming on
with
the
us.
show.
Thank you.
We'll be back for the wrap up. So, what did you learn today?
That the ecosystem of Kuwait is actually very
Mm-hmm.
big. It's bigger than what we thought, and turning it to a Greenland is not a good idea.
That's not a good idea. And we learned some
Fighting
secrets
Mother Nature
behind
is
the
not a good
cameras.
idea.
We
What?
learned some secrets behind the
Yeah, I've
cameras.
been told a few secrets.
Do you want to reveal them? No.
I won't tell. Lips are sealed. Okay.
But it was a fun episode. We learned a lot, and I feel like she has a lot more to say. So we do need another episode with her, or any other show that can utilize the information that she has. It is very valuable.
Okay. So good night.
Yeah. Good night. That is
We're
all.
done. I love how you wrapped it,
I like
right?
how you wrapped it.
Because
So good night.
because
Are you ready to go to sleep?
I am.
All right
All
then.
right.
Good night.